Greetings to all of you in the precious name of Jesus the Christ. I am happy to announce that the Diocese of North America and Europe, or the Thoma Church, is celebrating its Silver Jubilee in the year 2013.
In AD 52, St. Thomas arrived in Kerala and established 7.5 churches. St. Thomas Christian Community, later called Marthoma Church, spread out around the world, especially in the United States. It is exciting to note that even before our birth, the late Metropolitan, Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Marthoma, came to Toronto for higher studies in 1912. Right Reverend Dr. Alexander Marthomveli Metropolitan came for his doctoral studies in the 1940s and later in 1988 became the first diocesan bishop. In New York, the first Marthoma Fellowship was formed in 1955. The Marthoma worship was held in Boston by Reverend Cherion Thomas, later in Canada by Reverend Abraham Lincoln. The present Metropolitan, the Most Reverend Dr. Joseph Marthoma, came to Virginia for higher studies in 1965. Reverend Uman Korth came to New York in 1973. The first Marthoma congregation was the Marthoma Congregation of Greater New York. Reverend M.V. Benjamin became the first full-time vicar. In 1982, the Zonal Council was formed, and Right Reverend Thomas Mar Athanasius, suffragan Metropolitan, was in charge. The Messenger began as a newsletter during this time. The first National Family Conference was held in Toronto during the year of 1983 under the guidance of Right Reverend Dr. Alexander Marthoma Metropolitan and under the leadership of Reverend George Jacob, our Theodosius Didymene. The beloved Chrysostom Didymene became the second diocesan bishop. The first Marthoma Church building purchased by Epiphany Marthoma Church. The first Marthoma Church built was the Trinity Marthoma Church, Houston. In 1988, the Diocese of North America and Europe was approved. In 1991, Chrysostom Didymene established the Literature Society. Zacharias Didymene became our first resident diocesan bishop in 1993. In 1994, we owned our first diocesan center in Richboro, Pennsylvania. Later in 1998, the diocesan center was relocated to Merrick, New York, and was dedicated by Alexander Marthoma Metropolitan. Right Reverend Dr. Joachim Markoulos became our second resident bishop in the year 2001. The Diocesan Assembly in 2003 decided to begin mission work among Native Americans and in Mexico. Our current diocesan bishop, Right Reverend Dr. Georgis Mar Theodosius, became the third resident diocesan bishop in 2009. Currently, we have 9 ordained priests from our diocese. Under the guidance of Theodosius Didymene, the 30th National Family Conference was hosted by the diocese in 2012. The diocese hosted receptions for the newly consecrated bishops Thomas Mar Theodos and Matthews Mar Makarios. So let's take a look at the diocese today. Our diocese is led by Theodosius Didymene. The diocese has 68 parishes, 9 congregations, and 70 clergy. We have 18 council members and 162 assembly members. Reverend K.E. Georgis and Mr. Chaco Matthew serve as the diocesan secretary and diocesan treasurer, respectively. The office assistant is Mr. Thomas Uman. This year, we celebrate our Silver Jubilee year, themed Church Journeying with Christ. On January 1st, 2013, Holy Communion was celebrated at the Sinai Marthoma Center in honor of the Silver Jubilee year. The Silver Jubilee Inauguration Holy Kurbana was celebrated in Houston. Started altar boys and covenant girls. The pre-theological trainees are Arun Samuel Verghese, Farmers Branch, Jess George, Chicago, Matthew Stanley Samuel, St. Paul's, Dallas, and Sean George, Herman, Atlanta. In honor of the Silver Jubilee year, different celebration programs were held in every region of our diocese. Programs including Joint Holy Kurbana, Seminar on the Identity, Mission, and Vision of the Church, Lay Training, Regional Family Conference, Christian Education Forum, a development center in the Western region, and dialogues were conducted in the diocese. During this Silver Jubilee year, tree planting was done at the Sinai Marthma Center. Mission Board ministries like Mexico Mission, Native American Mission, India Mission, and Neighborhood Mission are strengthened by the involvement of the diocesan organizations during the Silver Jubilee year. The Silver Jubilee Thanksgiving service will be held on July 7, 2013, and the celebration will be concluded with a grand finale in New York on November 23, 2013. We, the faithful community, journeying with Christ, is the backbone of the diocese. The Lord has blessed our diocese in these past 25 years. Give thanks, O Lord, for He is good. His love endures forever.